Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Mila and as you can see, Carlos is not here today. That is because he has a lot of exams coming up and so for that reason he needs to study, but nonetheless I am here today to present to you the 10 golden rules of backpacking. Now, backpacking is probably my favorite way to travel just because you can have a fairly low budget and still experience a lot. And I know that it is not for everybody, but I hope that with today's tips you will have a more enjoyable trip. Tip number 1 is to be respectful towards the culture in the country of your destination, because it will most likely be very different from what you know from your home country, and therefore it is important to stay open-minded towards things like traditional clothing, food or music, and that way you will experience a lot more and make a ton of local friends. Tip number 2. It is always a good idea to know a few sentences in the native language, because not everybody speaks English and it is considered very polite if you make the effort. Simple things like hello, yes, no, thank you will take you a long way. Be prepared. Before your departure, you should check whether you need a visa or any special vaccinations. Tip number 4 is to make friends with locals. In my opinion, that is a great way to experience a culture, and the best way of getting to know a few local people is to sometimes ditch the trendy party hostel and instead try options like Airbnb or couchsurfing. Tip number 5. Try to stay away from fancy clothing and you will be very thankful that you did, because your stuff will get ripped and stained and the whole experience is way more fun if you don't have to worry about your outfit. Tip number 6. Set up a Dropbox and upload copies of important documents like your passport, your license, your visa, tickets, vaccination record, basically anything that you might need. And in case you lose the original, you don't have to panic because you have everything online. For tip number 7, I would recommend that you have a little extra money in someplace else than your wallet, because in case you lose the wallet or it gets stolen, then you don't have to worry about how you get back to your accommodation or wherever you were going. So next up is travel insurance. Always have an insurance when you travel, because in case you do get sick and you need to see a doctor, the very last thing that you want to worry about is how you are going to afford the treatment. Tip number 9 is to not be scared. The whole thing can get very overwhelming and you can get homesick or feel frightened, and the whole situation that you're in is obviously very foreign to you. But I would recommend that you try to open up and jump over your own shadow. I know it's hard sometimes, but really when you view backpacking as a big adventure, then everything that goes wrong is half as bad as it seems. And lastly, for tip number 10, always listen to your gut feeling. Whenever you feel uncomfortable or even unsafe in a situation, then you should always listen to your own intuition. You should never be hesitant to leave a situation or a conversation whenever you feel unwell or unsafe, and just trust your own gut feeling. And don't ever feel the need to justify that decision. And there you have it, those were the 10 travel tips for backpackers. If you found them helpful, then please subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching and see you soon.